At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like you to stand for the presentation of colors and the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be followed by the singing of our national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I told it all.
Yo prometo lealtad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la república que representa una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all around we lost were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much. Amazing. My goodness. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. You can have a seat. Good afternoon and welcome to the inaugural Prince George's Proud Veterans Appreciation Luncheon. Give yourselves a round for being here today. I'd also like to give you a hand salute to every veteran in this ballroom. I am most privileged to be here today, not only because I'm a 22-year retired veteran in the United States Navy, but because I'm able to serve this county, Prince George's County. Prince George is proud. Our county executive and our Veterans Office Director are both committed to the veterans, and I know them both personally. So I'd like to just say at this time, thank you so much for what you are doing for veterans today. God bless you both and all the work you're doing. This is all about you today, veterans. So you will be our co-host today. Is that okay? I want to hear a big yes. All right. So, on behalf of Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and her Office of Veterans Affairs, Dr. James Dula, we are Prince George's proud to welcome and honor all of the distinguished veterans and guests today for an unprecedented Veterans Appreciation Luncheon. Now, at this time, does everyone have a cell phone? Everybody say yes? Could you take it out? I want you to take a picture of yourself or this beautiful stage or anything, the chandeliers, and put on Facebook the hashtag Prince George's with an S, proud. Can I count on you? All right. While you're doing that, I'll continue the program. I am Dr. Renee Starlin Allen, known as the People's MC in the DMV, as well as the founder and CEO of Global Conscious Initiative. Among my many professional hats, I am a proud veteran, and that's my most proud moment on this earth, besides the birth of my son. I am also hosted the Renee Allen and Friends show on WSLS Vet Radio, the largest radio broadcast across from Howard University, for over 10 years until the COVID happened. I am also the secretary and the historian for Sisters for Sisters Network, which the president, Peggy Morris, is here today. Give her a round, y'all. And I sit on several boards, one of which is the American Veterans Ball, which the president, Ozzie Ramos, gave me this today. Let me share with you. In honor of all the veterans here today and those who could not make it. So give yourselves another round. It's an honor and privilege to serve as your mistress of ceremonies for today's tribute in recognition of Veterans Day. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge and thank the following Oxon Hill High School Color Guard. Lieutenant Colonel Nana Kwame Amu Maisa, Oxon Hill High School. First Lieutenant Jocelyn Pastora Diaz, Oxon Hill High School. And the beautiful songstress Miriam Wright McKinney for the beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Thank you all for your time and participation today. Please give them another round of applause. All year round, the county has the utmost respect and admiration for veterans, services, and the sacrifices you all made to protect this country's democracy and citizenship. Indeed, veterans are the backbone, everyone say backbone, of this country, and without you, there would be no United States of America, no life, liberty, or the pursuit of happiness, and no way to ensure that our country will continue to be the land of opportunity it's been known to be. Veterans have protected our rights as Americans and made the dreams of our forefathers possible. Prince George's County has the highest contingency of veterans in the state of Maryland. Did you know that? Yes. You can give a round, yes. This is a privilege and major source of great pride that we are thankful for because we know that we live anywhere. However, there is something special about this area, whether you were once stationed nearby or the combination of stellar outreach services that were appealing to you and your families. On so many levels, we extend our gratitude to all of you. Without further ado, I would also like to introduce Dr. James Dula. Veteran, yes, give it up for Dr. Dula, y'all. He's standing proud for veterans every day. Veteran Affairs Officer and retired United States Air Force, who many of you know and are very well acquainted with. He is literally everywhere around the clock and always at the ready to assist stance. Provide problematic resources, personally roll up his sleeves and work side by side, speak on the County Office of Veteran Affairs, serve as a conduit to resources for medical, housing, utilities, mental health, or answers any questions. He is always engaging you in several of the Office of Veteran Affairs innovative initiatives that he has implemented on behalf of County Executive Also Brooks. I refer to him as Mr. DMV. Please join me in welcoming Dr. James Dula, Prince George's County Veterans Affairs Officer. Come on, y'all, give it up. Give it up.
Wow, I have a new title, Mr. DMV. So thank you, Dr. Allen. What many of you may not know is that Dr. Allen is a veteran of the United States Navy. So, Madam Chair, I know that you're happy to hear that. But thank you for those comments. But it is indeed my pleasure to greet and address my brothers and sisters of the United States Armed Forces. However, we must never forget those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for the freedoms we enjoy today. So please join with me in a moment of silence for those that can no longer be with us. Thank you. Again, we are here today in this place because of the great vision of our county executive, the Honorable Angela Also Brooks. Let's give her a hand for her vision. She is a leader who recognizes that veterans do matter. And for most of us, we have worked very hard throughout the nation to ensure that others enjoy a taste of the freedoms that we have brought to America. So when we focus on today, we want to make sure that we remember those words used by General MacArthur as he gave a speech on the steps of the military academy when he said, duty, honor, and country. So when you join the military, you join the military by raising your right hand. And you repeated the oath. I do solemnly swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. And you took your position and your role in the United States Army, the United States Marine Corps, the United States Navy, the Aim High branch of the United States Air Force, the Coast Guard, and we have a new branch called the Space Force. But at the same time, you took your oath and solemnly swore to protect and defend, with a clear understanding that Uncle Sam needed you. Your military oath calls you to serve at home and overseas, away from family and friends. I often tell the people that my military service, I enlisted at 17 years old, just like many of you in this room today, during the height of Vietnam War in 1967. My mother, when she signed that paper, I could see the paper dotted with tears as she took ink to paper and signed her oldest son to be able to serve in the military. But I knew it was something that I wanted to do, like many of you here. We had that certain call and that certain feeling that we were needed by our country, tis of thee. And that with us volunteering, we knew that we could make a difference. And we did so joyfully. So regardless of the differences of where we came from or the communities we lived in, we all committed to work together in a spirit of unity. Do you know many of the things that we see in the United States today? It actually began with military. Cell phones came from microwave signals in a phone booth that used to be used for secure calling. Now it's a cell phone. You can put it in your pocket and call around the world. Military beginnings, military history, military contributions. That's what America's all about, us working and learning from each other. And no one does it better than the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. When World War I ended and the armistice signaled in a new day for recognizing veterans through Veterans Appreciation Day, it began a new way of thinking. A new way of thinking whereas Americans recognize their veterans every year, the 11th day, the 11th month, the 11th hour to which the armistice was signed. And so today as we come together once again in that spirit of unity. We know that we have had each other's backs in periods of combat. Where's my 100% warriors? We know that as a unified community, that Dr. Dula couldn't do this by himself. When I was fortunate enough to get this job, the county executive looked at me and she said, I want you to do one thing for me. And I looked at her and I said, oh my goodness, wonder what that can be, because I know our county executive. She's always thinking. But she said, I want you to serve the needs of our families and our military people because they've earned the right. So today as you come to this celebration for you, I want you to know that it just didn't take me, but it took a team of people working together to make sure that all this happened. And they heard a little bit of military jargon along the way. Jointness, unity, one mission, one team, one victory. Because when one wins, we all win. And that has always been the posture of America. So I would like to ask this C team to stand up. The C team, the county executive C team, Chrissy, stand up. Where's our leader? I call her, and Navy, don't get this wrong, because it's not about you. But I call her our C captain. So where is Sonia Wellborn? Please stand in back here. That's my C captain. Miss Ross, who oversees the municipalities. Where you at, Miss Ross? Are you here? Where you at? Oh, she's in the back as well. And this other person, I gave a nickname that I told her I wasn't going to tell her till the time was right. But Miss Benbow, standing back here, that put all this together for us, called Dr. Dula at 7 o'clock in the morning to say, are you ready to get started? And I'm trying to have coffee with Miss Dula. Miss Dula, where are you at? Sitting right here. Okay. But that's the C team, the stakeholders, engagement team that made all this happen. And so why are you here today? You're here because our county executive said you will serve the needs of all of our veterans and their families. And I have a team that's going to make it happen. The social services team that also supports you. Where are you at? The family services team, where are you at? When our seniors call me and say, Dr. Dula, I need help, I need food, I need lodging, I need this or that, I call on Family Services Department of Aging. When I get calls from veterans that say, I need place to live, I need utility assistance, I need rental assistance, I call on social services. So what I'm trying to say here is that you matter because our county executive said you matter, and we're going to recognize it in Prince George's County, but it takes a team to make sure that the village still supports you. And our village is in place to do that. So on behalf of our county executive, the Honorable Angela also Brooks, once again, I want to make sure that you understand, veterans, that we are here because of you. Without you, there would be no democracy. Without you, there would be no freedom. Without you, there would not be the support that we see every day for the oldest constitutional democracy in the world today, right here in America. Without you, we would not enjoy the liberties and the fruits of happiness that we have in our country. So veterans, on behalf of our county executive, I want to say thank you for being here today. It is our honor to serve you. And as we move forward, always remember, we got your back. So God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dula, for those riveting remarks. And when he says, when one wins, we all win, let me tell you how that works. County Executive D'Angela Also Brooks won. She appointed the first Office of Veteran Affairs. Then we all won. Give it up to her again. I cannot believe how dedicated they are. This is such a momentous moment. All right. Well, next, please join me in welcoming a few of our sponsors. Without a doubt, it takes partnerships to add to the county's efforts of making this a special tribute luncheon. On behalf of the county executive, thank you for your generous contributions. We are grateful for your in-kind and monetary support. Please give them a Prince George's proud applause as we welcome them to the stage. Rock Tomlinson, VP Investment Officer, Mid-Atlantic Region, Prologis. Give him a round, please. And Joe Rogers, Vice President, Mid-Atlantic Market, Unit Sales and Service, Coca-Cola Consolidated, Inc., our presenting sponsor.
Having me here. My name is Brock Tomlinson. I'll try to keep this as short as possible. But I'm part of the Prologis team here in Prince George's County, and honored to be here today and representing Prologis and our development partners at our project down in Forestville, GCS Segal, RC Anderson, KCI, and Amazon. As son of a Navy veteran, Veterans Day has always held a special place in my heart. And one thing he's always said, that a statistic that he said that always really struck me is active service members make up less than 1% of our population. That fact that such a small percentage of the population can have such a large impact on our country protecting the American dream is truly astounding. With 30,000 active service members in Maryland, makes me proud to be a resident here in Maryland and a proud community member in Prince George's County. For those of you who don't know, Prologis is a real estate company that has been working in Prince George's County for over 25 years. Our employees work alongside other members and community to help strengthen the local economy. And in 2018, we took it to the next step. And one word that resonated that you said is opportunity. One thing that we want to make sure that we do is we are creating opportunities, because as we lift each other up, we all are better off. So what we did was we partnered with the Community Workforce Initiative. We launched in 2018 and partnered with Employ Prince George's, where we've been investing in setting up programs where it trains, educates, and helps people get jobs in the transportation, distribution, and logistics industry. Our goal is to try to upskill 1,000 people and place 500 people in industrial and logistics industry. That being said, trying to keep this short, on this Veterans Day, I want to make sure that let us not only commit ourselves to making sure that we serve our veterans that receive the care and benefits that they've earned, but also the opportunity that they deserve. So thank you again, having myself and our team today. But much more importantly, thank you to the men, women, and your families who have sacrificed to serve this great country of ours and protect our freedoms. So thank you and God bless.
Morning. I do have a couple of notes here that just to make sure I don't miss anything, and I think also for my team to make sure that I don't end up giving a keynote speech. So I want to start really. Happy Veterans Day. I'm honored to be here, and it's funny. In my role, I'm responsible for many things that help keep Coca-Cola running on a day-to-day basis, but none of them are more important than recognize those in our communities that we live and serve. I'd like to start by thanking Prince George's County for allowing us to be here and also congratulate County Executive Angela Alsobrooks on her reelection. It is a privilege to know and work with so many men and women who have served our country and who have risked their lives putting others before them. Let me tell you a little bit about Coca-Cola Consolidated. We have more than 1,100 veterans on our team of 17,000 employees, so about 15%. And it doesn't matter if they are Army, Navy, Marine, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard. For all of our employees that are veterans, we know that we get someone special when a veteran becomes a teammate. And let me be more specific. Here are the attributes that we find in our teammates who have served our country: intelligence, leadership, discipline, determination, and grit. Our team of veterans are men and women who solve problems. They don't stew over an issue, they figure out the puzzle, they crack the code, they unravel the riddle and move forward to a better place. It is remarkable to watch how efficiently our company operates with these leaders. You are an incredible resource of talent and knowledge. Now let me speak just for a second about service. Arthur Ashe, the great tennis player who also served in the military, said, "True heroism is remarkably sober, very undramatic. It is not the urge to surpass all others at whatever cost, but the urge to serve others at whatever cost." And that is the point, serving others. You did it day in and day out when you put on your uniform, and you're doing it in your homes where you work and in your communities today. So I want to say again, thank you. At Coca-Cola Consolidated, we are serious about serving others. Every day we strive to live out our purpose, which is to honor God in all we do, to serve others, to pursue excellence, and to grow profitably. Hebrews 13:16 says, "And do not forget to do good and to share with others, for such with sacrifices God is pleased." All of you know about sacrifice. It means leaving your family and friends behind. It means putting yourselves in harm's way. It means defending our nation. So, in honor of Veterans Day, I want to thank you for your service to our country and for the contributions you're making each day. And as a small token of our thanks, we partnered with Prince George's County and Giant Food to provide grocery bags filled with healthy food that you'll be able to take home with you today. And that is just a small token of our appreciation. Your accomplishments haven't gone unnoticed. You're making a difference. You're making the world a better place. And we certainly appreciate all that you've done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give another round to Brock Thomason and Joe Rogers. Dr. Dula, will you please join me back on stage, sir? Y'all can give him another round. He deserves it.
That's Dr. Allen. She's always giving me instructions. Keeps me on point. But I have the pleasure of introducing our county executive. County Executive Angela D. Alsobrooks, our county executive, is a super bad leader. Super bad. She hails from right here in Prince George's County. Grew up in Camp Springs. Camp Springs in the house? Grew up in Camp Springs. She went on to receive a bachelor's degree in public policy from Duke University, returned back home to receive a Juris Doctorate degree from the University of Maryland. She later worked in the state's attorney's office, also as education liaison in the county executive's office, then headed to lead the Revenue Authority. From there, she was elected to state's attorney, where she addressed crime in our county and realized a 50% crime reduction rate during her tenure. In 2018, we were blessed with her being sworn in as county executive, the first woman to hold the position. During her tenure, she led us through COVID, created new development opportunities, addressed health care for all, and created a new vision for the Prince George's Veteran Affairs Office. Very, very busy with a heart for the people. And therefore, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Honorable Angela D. Also Brooks, the People's County Executive.
Well, good morning, everyone. My team knew not to do that to me. You may have already heard that your county executive loves to dance. So I don't think I've ever heard a song that didn't make me feel like dancing. So if they turn the music on, I apologize. Some dancing is going to happen. But I'm so thrilled to be here with all of you this afternoon. I have to tell you that I really do count it a special blessing to have an opportunity to honor our veterans here in Prince George's County this afternoon. This is a marvelous, marvelous afternoon for us. And speaking of honoring, I don't think I could go another word into my remarks without also honoring the man who really makes sure that all of this happens for us every single day. You've heard now from Dr. James Dula a couple of times this morning, and yes, he deserves it. If you could please just stand to your feet and honor this man, this brother of yours, who every day makes sure that your agenda is our agenda. I had the opportunity to meet Dr. Dula. It's been over 2 decades ago. And in fact, ironically, I was going over to Crossland High School as a young prosecutor. And I was there to talk to a class full of students. And it was an ROTC class. And it was led by Dr. Dula. And in Dr. Dula fashion, it was not only the case that he was there to mentor and inspire and lead the young people who were in that classroom that day, but you should know that I also became a mentee of his over 2 decades ago, where he did what he does best, to say that I see you. I think you have great potential. I think you're amazing. I think you're a leader. I think that the sky is the limit, and this is what he does every single day for so many of us. I have to tell you also that it is the case that Dr. Dula loves each of you. I don't know that I have ever seen him over this past more than 2 decades where it was not somewhere in his talking to me that he talked about the needs of veterans, how proud he is to be a veteran. You know this, he oozes it. It is who he is. And so when I was fortunate enough to be elected as county executive, I couldn't think of a better person to make sure that the veterans of Prince George's County were at the top of our list in terms of who we served and who we thought of each and every day. A vital, vital asset of Prince George's County is the human resource that veterans provide to us. You all are just amazing. And so Dr. Dula agreed to do that work. Now, you know he didn't do it alone, so I do also have to thank my beautiful soror, who happens to also be his wife, Mrs. Dula, who is here with him today. They are a dynamic duo. But you should know he has just done an amazing job in building an Office of Veterans Affairs, none of which exists anyplace else in the state of Maryland. There is no other jurisdiction that has ever created an Office of Veterans Affairs before Dr. Dula came to lead this one. And he does the work of 100 people. I don't know where he gets the energy. I swear I'm going to be like him when I grow up. But he does so in every season through COVID-19. Through a season where his own health was challenged. And I can tell you, he's never talked about himself. I don't care what he was going through. And so I just want to honor you today, Dr. Dula, and thank you so much for your service, and thank you for embodying the word honor. We know what it means. I'd like to also acknowledge, you heard Dr. Dula say that I'm the People's County Executive. Well, we happen to have the People's Champion today, who is our County Council Chair, Calvin Hawkins. I want to thank him for his terrific partnership as he's led us on our council, and thank him so much for his presence today. And then I'd like to thank a few other folks. Again, we want to just, the stakeholder engagement is here, the Office of Stakeholder Engagement and Affairs. They have hosted today's event. I think they have done, once again, the excellence that they display every single day is just amazing. Sonia Wellborn, you've already heard Daphne, I see Denise, and the whole team. Just thank you all so much for hosting such a beautiful program. And then our amazing mistress of ceremonies, the 22-year retired veteran, Dr. Renee Allen, is here today. I want to thank her also for gracing us with her presence, and also want to say how honored we are to have in our midst today Secretary of the Maryland Department of Veterans Affairs, Secretary George Owens III. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring us with your presence today. And I also, you all heard a little bit from heaven today. What a beautiful voice, Miriam Wright. I want to thank her so much for gracing us today with her beautiful, beautiful gift, as well as the sponsors that helped to make today's luncheon happen. You should know that this luncheon, the sponsors were so very generous, did not hesitate to come forward to host, and because of their generosity, they have hosted 95% of the cost of today's program was picked up by our sponsors. And those sponsors include our presenting sponsor, Coca-Cola Consolidated Inc. And so I want to thank them for their outstanding contributions. Can you all stand, please, so that everyone can see you? And thank you also for your sponsorship today. Thank you. R.C. Anderson, if you're here, please, can you stand and be recognized as a sponsor? Also, thank you so much. GCS Siegel, if we have representatives from that sponsor, they are not here, but they're worth acknowledging also. Oh, they are. Thank you so much. Prologis, I know also, if you please stand and be recognized, one of our key sponsors today. If there are any representatives from Amazon, would you please stand and be acknowledged? Thank you so much. From Giant Food, we want to thank you also for being a sponsor. Any representatives here, we want to thank Giant Food for their sponsorship. And then want to thank also Johnny's Florist for donating this morning's beautiful flowers and centerpieces. And so we want to thank Johnny's Florist for donating those beautiful centerpieces as well. And then we're welcomed by a number of our mayors today whose service I want to just acknowledge and thank them so much for all they do for us every day. And in particular, I'd like to welcome our veteran mayors, some of whom are in attendance. I don't know that Bowie Mayor Tim Adams, I'd like to acknowledge him. I'd also like to acknowledge Capitol Heights Mayor Linda Monroe. Thank you so much. We have also Edmonston Mayor Tracy Farish Gant. I want to thank her so much, who's also veteran. Veteran Mayor Forest Heights Mayor Calvin Washington. Veteran Mayor Glenn Arden, Mayor Kashina Cross. And I'd also like to finally acknowledge veteran mayor and University Park Mayor Joel Bierman. I want to acknowledge him also. And finally, I'd like to thank our super amazing student participants from Oxon Hill High School, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Nana Kwame Amo Mensah, Cadet Second Lieutenant Jocelyn Pastor Diaz, and the Oxon Hill High School Color Guard under the leadership of United States Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Mark Branch. I want to thank them so much for their participation. Today really is a special day for us as we honor our veterans, and I personally want to thank all of you for your courage, your commitment, and your dedication to this nation. And today we also remember the men and women currently stationed around the globe for their ongoing service. President Biden has proclaimed November to be the National Veterans and Military Families Month, paying homage to the bravery and dedication of all who wear the uniform, and recognizing the sacrifices our veterans and their families have made and continue to make every day on our behalf. This morning, I would like to pay those same respects. Our theme this morning may be, it's a great day to be a veteran in Prince George's County, but we are continually working to make sure that you feel valued and appreciated every day, not just today. Prince George's County is the proud home, as you have heard, to approximately 60,000 veteran residents, which is the largest veteran population in the state of Maryland. So our veterans make up a significant part of our community, and your service, you should know, has touched the lives of so many who live here. That's why, from the very beginning of my administration, I made a commitment to not only listen to you, but to make sure that you understand every day how important you are. And while we should voice our appreciation for your contributions, I believe that we are obligated to do much more than just saying thank you to you in return. We have a duty to show our appreciation with actions that back up our words. So that's why we established the Prince George's County Office of Veterans Affairs, led by Dr. Dula. In fact, as you've heard, we were the first jurisdiction in the state of Maryland to have an office solely dedicated to supporting local veterans. Thank you. And I am so proud of the work that OVA has done. Since 2019, our Office of Veterans Affairs has assisted more than 10,700 veterans with accessing veterans' resources and services. We also have the Prince George's County Commission for Veterans, made up of 9 appointed members. I believe they may even be here with us today. If they are, would you stand so we might be able to acknowledge you? Anyone here from our commission? Thank you so much for being present today. Our commission develops and promotes new and existing programs and services for veterans and their families. Because 10,000 of our 60,000 county veterans are women, we opened the Military Women Veteran Center and established a Military Veteran Women's Advisory Committee serving the needs and concerns of our county's women veterans and their families. This includes active duty members, reservists, and members of the National Guard residing in Prince George's County. And earlier this year, we proclaimed March 21st through 25th, 2022, the first ever Women Veterans Week in Prince George's County to highlight the many present and historic contributions of women in the U.S. military. Now, let me just take a moment to say that those 10,000, we always got something to brag about on Prince George's, so y'all just forgive me for a moment. But we want you to know that those 10,000 women veterans that we have in our county represent a higher percentage of veterans that we have here in Prince George's County than the national average of women veterans. So that is something to celebrate, as we have a higher concentration of women veterans right here than any place else in the country. So to our veterans here today, our actions and our words cannot express enough just how grateful we are for who you are and all that you have given. But we will continue, we promise, offering them anyways. So please know how much your service and your continued contributions mean to our community. You are an inspiration and a role model for so many of our residents, from our JROTC members here today to the written tributes in today's program sent in by our students, and I hope you see them, from Kettering Spanish Immersion Middle School, Greenbelt Middle School, Thomas Johnson Middle School, and Kettering Middle School. There are constant reminders that your sacrifices will continue to echo for generations to come. No matter what branch of our military you served in, no matter how long ago or how recently you served, our county and our nation owes you so much. And while we will do all we can to embrace you every day of the year, we've set aside this day to publicly give you the love and recognition that you deserve. So that's why I would love, at this moment, please, if Dr. Dula, can you please join me again on the stage? And we're going to honor a few of our veterans. I'd like to also ask if our council chair, Mr. Chair, would you please join us also as we recognize a few of our proud veterans. First, representing the Army, Michael Easton, VFW, Post Commander, Clinton, Maryland. Can we give it up, please, for Michael Easton? And I want you to know, as he makes his way, please, to the stage, that you are looking at a 7-time award winner who has overseen as post commander the winning. Tell me, Dr. Dula, how I say it correctly, please. I don't want to.
I always say he has won 7 times to be the leading post commander right here on the East Coast chapter. Is that right? Cool. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Can you come up, please? Yeah. Dr. Dula. What you're seeing right now is we have designed a first ever pin to acknowledge our veterans. And it says proud veteran. You'll see it with 9 different stars representing the councilmatic districts, and we are handing those out right now. Representing the Marines, Randy Howell, would you please come forward?
Yeah.
Representing the Navy, we'd like to have Lisa Williams, who's chair of our Commission for Veterans, and I'll ask our chair to do this one. We'd also like to have come to the stage, please, representing the Air Force, Cornell Langford. Would you please come forward? All right. And representing the Coast Guard with Penny Collins, please come forward. Now, it goes without saying, as they are being pinned, that everyone in this room is held in high esteem and deserving of accolades for their services and sacrifices. Today, we begin a new tradition by bestowing the Prince George's Proud Veterans Pin. And I want to be clear that every veteran here today will receive their commemorative pin. So if our veterans will please stand, our JROTC students will come around to please give you also a pin. Please stand, our veterans. We present these pins as a small token of our gratitude, and we thank you all for what you have sacrificed for each of us. Please enjoy the rest of today's program, and may God continue to bless all of you. May God bless Prince George's County, and may God continue to bless our beautiful nation. Thank you so much. I'll now turn the program, as you get your pens, I'll now turn the program back over to our Mistress of Ceremonies, Dr. Renee Allen. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, County Executive. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much, County Executive Angela Alsobrooks. Congratulations to all of the honorees. You want to move? I'll move it out of the way. Congratulations once again. Give them another round, please. I hope everyone is enjoying themselves. Say yes. Have you sent things out on social media? If you have not, please do so. This is an important day and critical to the veterans who are not able to be here to be able to see what's going on. Okay, everybody say okay. All right, thank you so much. We have a delicious lunch that has been prepared by Martin's Crosswinds. Before we break bread and fellowship, Reverend Dr. Gerald Folsom, Office of the County Executive, Faith-Based Liaison, will deliver today's prayer. Please give him a round.
Let us pray. Dear God, today we honor our veterans in Prince George's County, Maryland, worthy men and women who gave their best when they were called upon to serve and protect their country. We pray that you will bless them for their unselfish service in the continual struggle to preserve our freedoms, our safety, and the principles of this country. They served and sacrificed for all of us. Bless them abundantly for their hardships they faced, for the sacrifices they made, for the family members they left behind to go serve, and for their many different contributions to this country. God, we respect them. We thank them. We honor them, and we are proud of them. We pray now that you will watch over these our special people and bless them abundantly with peace and happiness. Bless our county executive for providing a platform of honor for our veterans. And lastly, bless the food and the hands that prepared it. It's a great day to be a veteran in Prince George's County, Maryland. On this joyous occasion, come on, let everybody say, amen.
From the diaphragm. Hoorah! Hoorah! There we go. All my Marines, women, men, around the world, beltway, I salute a toast to the Marine Corps. Hoorah! Thank you.
The outstanding men and women warriors of the United States Air Force who protect and serve our skies worldwide. Swoosh!
United States Coast Guard and all the members that serve currently
Okay, I told you on the count of three, you can either sit and raise your glass, or you can stand and raise your glass to your service. But on the count of three, we're all going to say "Hear, hear" together. So 1, 2, 3. Hear, hear. Thank you very much, and we appreciate all of you that serve for your service. And I'll take a seat now.
Are you ready for our keynote speaker? Everyone say yes. We are truly honored to welcome keynote speaker George Owens III, Secretary, Maryland Department of Veteran Affairs. George W. Owens III began his service to his country in 1964 when he volunteered for the Marine Corps. He arrived in Da Nang, Vietnam in November 1965, and after 2 additional extended tours in February 1968, left Vietnam as a sergeant. He earned many awards and in 1985 served in the Marine Reserves for 2 years. In 1987, his career in service took a new path when he was appointed by Governor Schaefer to the House of Delegates. He began his first term in 1988. After 17 years, say 17 years, in the House of Delegates, 10 years of which were at the majority whip, Owens left the House to join the Eldridge administration as the Secretary of the Maryland Department of Veterans Affairs in 2004. Governor Eldridge's decision to select was based on Owens' record as an advocate for veterans in Maryland and his willingness to serve his constituents. Veteran issues are a politician to Secretary Owens, and after the 2006 election, he was asked to remain on the job for a new administration's first legislative session. He agreed to do so and retired in June 2007. On February 21, 2015, Owens was sworn in a second time as the Secretary of the Maryland Department of Veteran Affairs under Governor Hogan's leadership and continues to do good work that began so many years ago. Please join me in welcoming George W. Owens III.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for that kind introduction. I want to start off out of order of what I was going to do. I'd like Penny Collins to stand up. Penny, where are you? Penny was one of our commissioners representing the Coast Guard. Something new happened this year. We saw within the state, within the department, and around the country, actually, women don't get recognized, women veterans aren't recognized the way that they should be. So we set about to change that. And going back a few years before I left the second time, I think, in this position, there was a commission which I headed up to form a committee to establish a women's memorial in this state. It came to pass, sorta. It's up off of 95 behind one of the eateries up there at a gas station. Doesn't belong to the state. We don't claim it. We have nothing to do with it. With that said, we came back in and we looked around and decided it was time to put together a formal, worthy women's memorial. Penny was a commissioner on the Veterans Commission at the time, but I decided it was time for her to take on something a little more vigorous than what it was she was doing as just a commissioner. Not that that work isn't important. So we tagged her to head up a group of women. I think there's one man on that committee, Mike Moore from Greenbelt, Post 136. Is Mike here? Anyway, I think he's the only male on the committee. Penny heads it up, and the 8 of them are going around the state. They are charged with finding a location, putting together fundraising, in fact, a whole ball of wax that is necessary to build a women's memorial worthy of the service that the women of this state have performed. Penny, I want to thank you and acknowledge the work you're doing on that commission. There's a medical term for what we're all experiencing right now. It's called postprandial dip. For those of you that don't know what it is, and I'm glad it's happening, it's to what you see a cat doing after it eats a nice meal. Kind of sits down, relaxes, doesn't hear much noise or anything else. I'm glad that's happening because after all that's been said today, from the county executive, from Dr. Dula, a dear friend of mine going back to 2015, I guess, I hope that some of you do go nodding off because I don't have a whole lot left after what's been said here. Be that as it may, it is an honor to be with you here. And I'm treating this, as you've heard in some cases already, as a Veterans Day sort of speech or conversation with you. We are 2 days away from Veterans Day, of course, and it's a day that we all relish. You know, there's something else I learned a long time ago. Life passes you by, and sometimes you don't get a chance to do several things. I was a scout. I was a Cub Scout, a Boy Scout, and an explorer. But what I did not do was become an Eagle Scout before the age of 18. And once 18 hits, you can't roll back and do it again. You miss the opportunity to wear the eagle in the scouting world. There's something else that happens to you as time goes on. And if you don't engage yourself and grab your bootstraps, pull them up, and decide you want to serve this country honorably as a veteran, that time passes you by, and for the rest of your life, you will never, ever be called veteran. That is an honor reserved to those of us who did go through what we went through to get there. As you heard, I went in 1964. Well, there was a reason for that. I came out of a little school in Calvert County, just south of here, smallest county in the state, by the way. It's 211 square miles. And there were about 15,000 of us, I guess pretty much, man, woman, and child in that county at the time. I graduated back in 63. You were hard-pressed to find a date for a dance if you didn't get to the line early enough. We had to share just about everything back then. I did graduate, and I went to Maryland University, College Park campus. Went with a classmate of mine. We saw a world we didn't even know existed. There were 25,000 people our age, and they were everywhere. Well, I don't have to tell you. Studies kind of took back seat to what we thought we were not there for. And so, first, I'm eliminated from housing because I set Prince George's dorm on fire during a firefight with cigarettes. This is all documented, by the way. I was then relieved of any association with Maryland University because of my grades. Again, what I thought I was there for, they did not think I was there for. So Dad said, well, son, you got a choice. Louis Goldstein and I got together. We're going to send you over to Washington College on the Eastern Shore. You're going back to school. Well, Dad, I'm not going back to school. I've had enough school. He said, no, you're going back to school or you're going into service. The next day, I broke my mother's heart when I went down and joined the Marine Corps. Came home that night and told Dad that's as close as we ever got to a fist fight. He was very, very upset with me for doing that. You have to remember when that was, and many of us here were in the service at that time or about to join during that time. It occurred, my enlistment occurred just prior to the big buildup. There were about 40,000 of us here when I arrived in Da Nang on the 15th of November. Funny how you remember dates. The 15th of November, 1965. And as you heard, I stayed for 2 more extended tours. I didn't have a girlfriend. Well, I had a girlfriend. She didn't write. So I assumed that I no longer had a girlfriend. I thought she was in the service and I was back in the States, but that's not the way that went. Anyway, I did come back home after the first tour and decided to go back, and still no girlfriend, went back again. This does have a good ending to it, though. When I came back, again, we were still a little light down there in Calvert for companionship. I came to Prince George's County, and I found the woman of my dreams. We were married. She gave me a son, and he's doing fine. He's 51 now. It's hard to believe. You didn't think I was that old. I know you didn't. I know you didn't. 2 beautiful grandsons. Unfortunately, my wife passed away some 15 years ago. But I came here to find her. So, with that in mind, what else endears me to Prince George's County? Well, lots of things. Calvert being like it was, didn't really have a secondary school down there, or a third-dairy, whatever you call them. So I had to find a school close to home where the VA, of course, would help pay for some of my services. And guess where it was? Yep, Prince George's County. 2 buildings back then, for those of you that remember it. And yeah, I did get a degree there. And then that's when I started to raise the family. But I didn't go beyond. I didn't go back to Maryland. I didn't like them. They didn't like me. So that's the way that went. Anyway, I got back, and I did not know that if you left a place of employment, your employer had to take you back once you got out of the service. I thought they were doing me a great favor. Well, they weren't. Anyway, the rest of that story is that after getting my degree or my associates from Prince George's, I ended up in the banking business. And that proved to be very lucrative for me. That moved me into mortgage banking, and there I really made a very good living in my mortgage banking. So that pretty much is the story that I have, except that in politics, I followed my father, he and Louis Goldstein served together. The war broke out in 41. They went off in 42. Dad, the Army, Louis in the Marine Corps, and they both came back. Well, I followed my father in politics 50 years to the month later. He had already passed, but I got it by accident. Actually, I was on the Central Committee. An opening came up, and my name was offered up, and sure enough, Governor Schaefer appointed me to that vacant position. That's how I got into politics, and that led to other things. I got a little tired of sitting there as the third seat as a majority whip, as you heard. And so when then Governor Ehrlich offered me the position to take over midterm, I accepted it because a passion was with you all, with the veterans, with those that I love, those I serve, and many of you here know me and you've known me for quite some time. So I took the opportunity knowing it would be short-lived with Martin O'Malley waiting in the wings. Ehrlich was not going to win a second term, but I didn't really care. I wanted to see what I could do for you all, for our veteran community in those 2 years. So we did quite a bit of good work in there. We started the expansion of the cemetery program. We started looking around, and this is coming to fruition now. But I wanted a second home somewhere. 16 years has passed, and I'm happy to say that now the bids are out for a second veterans home in Carroll County. And it's going to come to fruition. The governor put the money in the supplemental budget, and it's just now a matter of time of everything coming together. But this state will finally get a second veterans home, and I'm very proud of that achievement. Thank you. Let me give you a little bit more about your veterans commission. There are 5 programs in the commission, in the department right now. We have the outreach and advocacy program, changed the name this year to communications, outreach, and advocacy. That's the point of the spear. That's where you go, or hopefully you go, if you're just floundering out here, don't know where to go to find anything. Now, there are many service officers out here, and I'll touch on that program in a minute. But We're no different than the Purple Heart, than the American Legion, than the DVA, than any other service organization where the service officers are certified. By that I mean they're credentialed by the VA to do the claims. We do that too, but in the communications outreach and advocacy program, that's where we actually go out into the community. They are now out. There's 3 of them out there now. Dana, Denise, and Rosalind Jones, who, by the way, is our women coordinator, women veteran coordinator in the state. We brought her on the end of last year. That's all she does is serve the women veterans of the state. Many of you have already encountered Rosalind about your daily lives. The service program actually is where the heart of the matter comes to life. That's where you go for your claims. We are now in, we have 17 service officers throughout the state, but there's something we did that came by accident, sheer accident. Some of you have already encountered it. Some of you will later on as we continue to do what we do. I was in Frederick, and our office there was on the 2nd floor of the courthouse. An individual came in a wheelchair. He could not get upstairs because the elevator was broken. So we got to thinking, my goodness, how many times does this happen to how many people? So I went to the Department of Motor Vehicles and said, look, how about a little space here by your counter, because veterans come in at some point in time to renew their license, to adjudicate a ticket or something. They're there sometime during the course of their driving life. And they said, that's fine. We are now located in 5 Department of Motor Vehicle Administration offices. When you go to Glen Burnie, it's right after you stand in front of the window to do whatever you're going to do. We are located right there. That has been so successful that we have 2 service officers in that location. So we are throughout the state now, locating ourselves in places we know where veterans are going to go at some point, and that's in the Motor Vehicle Administration buildings. We also have the trust fund. Some of you may be aware of that. It's a recurring, one-time only resource, and it became very, very helpful during the pandemic. Actually, it's where it became widespread, widely known. It has assisted in everything except buying booze or going to the racetrack. Other than that, you come to us with your bills, and we qualify you and take care of it. We've done 6, 8, 10 months worth of mortgage payments. We've done car repairs. There's not a whole lot we haven't done in that department. It's a one-man shop. Mark Hendricks runs that program, and we're very proud of what we've been able to do in that field. There's some $300,000 that is in there now, and we started off as a nonprofit and true nonprofit. But where does your money come from? Well, it came from donations from family members and other people whose family members we had helped. But then all of a sudden, somebody got the idea that, look, why don't we siphon off a little bit from the casinos? They're making tens of millions. And they are. And now we have so much money, I'm looking for people that have needs. We're actually out here looking to help people with great needs. We have a 5 cemetery program. Now, I want you to listen to this. And it's certified or verified by the Department of Veterans Affairs. The state of Maryland has no more or no longer has any federal cemeteries in which to bury our veterans and or their qualifying spouses. What we have are 5 cemeteries going from Rocky Gap all the way to Beulah or Hurlock on the eastern shore. In between, we have Cheltenham. We have this happens when you get to be old. Rocky Gap, Crownsville, Cheltenham, Hurlock, and Garrison Forest. We bury in this state 11.1% of all veterans in the country that are buried in state cemeteries. Yes, California has some 2 million veterans. They don't bury any more than we do. not as many as we do in their state cemeteries. Why? Because they have federal cemeteries. We don't. So again, that is a mark that we are very proud of. And I take great pleasure, maybe I'll still take great pleasure in telling the new governor the same thing. But I took great pleasure in calling all the governors on any holiday, on any rainy day, snowy day, or whatever, and say, Governor, I just want you to know your cemeteries are open and ready for business. And we are. There's not one day of the year that you can't get into our cemeteries. We bury 5 days a week, no more than 7 on the busiest cemeteries, which are 2, Cheltenham and Garrison Forest, up to 7 a day. And we continue to do that 5 days a week. We do not close. Sometimes when the snow is that bad, the funeral homes can't deliver. They can't get the veteran there, but we're there waiting for them anyway. So we've done the trust fund, we've done the services and benefits, we've done outreach and advocacy, and we've done, what else have we done? Something else. Whatever it was, we did it. All right, I've kept you long enough and you're starting to wake up now, so I'm going to move on. Dr. Dula, I want to thank you for this. I really do. It's an honor, again, to be here. I'm going to ask all of you that are veterans to stand up, please. I know you were waiting on that. It should be the whole room. Come on. And while you always run the risk of embarrassing yourself or leaving someone out, there are some special people around here. Where's Charles Eggleston? Where's Charles? You ended up way over there? I thought you were over here. Charles, as many of you know, and some of you may not, was inducted to the Hall of Fame. That was the NFL Hall of Fame, was that not? That's what I thought. Recipient of the Purple Heart, as many of you know also, or maybe you don't, but a true friend of mine, and I'm happy to call you friend. Charles, let's see. I already did you, Dr. Dula, but you got to get up again. You and I go back some 15 years, 17 years, and we actually met to confer to take you where you are today, did we not? No, you did it. You just brought me along for a little bit. Yeah. But the cooperation between us and Prince George's County is insurmountable. Anytime he calls, I answer the phone. Anytime I call him, he answers the phone. And we've done some great things together for you all and for the veterans statewide. And I'm very proud of that, very proud of that. Is he Ron Holcomb? Where's Ron? There he is. Ron is the current commander for the state, American Legion. Ron, thank you for being here too. And I got one more shout out if I see him. Commissioner Killebrew, are you here? Is he gone? He and I, it's where I met the current governor-elect, Wes Moore, who sat next to me when we testified on the Tuskegee Airmen bill. Took 3 years to get that out. I had the honor of sitting next to General McGee. He passed before we saw the bill come to light and be signed into law, but that was a highlight to get it out this year. It was signed into law this year by Governor Hogan, and that was quite an honor to sit next to then veteran Moore, as he was there testifying, not for political purposes, but he was there to testify as a veteran on a bill that was very meaningful to him. And you all know what the Tuskegee Airmen did. We got the bill out and got it signed. So as we continue to roll on, and I'm going to stop now. It's a good thing. You all thought there was stuff written here, didn't you? I know you did. Anyway, it's an honor, and I want to thank the county executive, also Brooks, by way of Dr. Dula for inviting me here today. It's truly an honor to break bread with you all, to be among what is family, because we're all family. You put on a uniform, you take the oath that you've heard already, you become a blood brother and or sister, and there's no greater honor because we know what we mean to each other. Thank you all so very much. It's been an honor to be with you.
First of all, thank you so much, Secretary Owens. I'm going to call him Secretary Feisty One. And if Dr. Dula could join us on stage, as well as Charles, if you could make it up here real quickly, and Ron Holcomb real quickly, please. And our commission chair and Chief Killiburn.
He knows who he
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Okay. As Chief Killebrew approaches the stage, we are very happy to make a special presentation to our Secretary for Veteran Affairs, Secretary George Owens. Let me say this. When we first met, I was the DCAO for Health and Human Services for Prince George's County, and I said, you know, we need to look at ways to recognize our veterans, not only in Prince George's County, but throughout the state. I did make a phone call to Secretary Owens at the time, and he jumped on board. He got the governor involved, and the next thing you know, we have all these programs now in the state of Maryland that recognizes our veterans. So I think he deserved a great, big, tremendous hand for helping us in 2005 do that. And because of all he does, it's our pleasure to make this presentation on behalf of County Executive also Brooks, the Office of Veteran Affairs, and the Commission for Veterans. And it reads, it's heavy too, Special appreciation presented to George W. Owens III, Secretary, Maryland Department of Veteran Affairs, in appreciation for services rendered as guest speaker during the County Executive's Veterans Luncheon, Prince George's County, 2002. It's my pleasure to present this to my friend.
We can just go down a little bit. Everyone go down a little bit more. A little bit more. Go down a little bit more. A little bit
Column
more.
left.
A little bit more down.
The other way. Move toward the flag. There we go. Is that good enough?
As Beyonce says, to the left, to the left. Congratulations, Secretary Owens.
Dr. Thank you so very much. Again, it's been my honor to be with you all today, to break bread, to share a few laughs, and to wake you up, which I did. This is above and beyond, but thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I hope all of you had a wonderful time. Did you really enjoy yourselves? Wonderful. This has been such a pleasure for me to host. I want to pause and recognize the junior ROTC students that have been assisting us today as hosts. They are doing an outstanding job. Please give them a Prince George's Proud round of applause, please. They will momentarily be coming around to your tables to give all veterans a card to fill out in preparation for attending an upcoming Washington Commanders game. Yes! Another partner that is always ready to assist the county's efforts and office. So all veterans, please stand as you receive the cards from our junior ROTC. And at this time, we will be bringing up our songstress again, if we could remain a little quiet as the veterans receive their card. You must fill out the card today and turn it in the back in order to get the Washington Commander tickets. So let's give Miriam Wright McKinney a warm welcome as she's going to grace our stage once again to perform a solo. Miriam?
At a time like this, it seems so apropos to sing about peace. The moment has come for us. A choice has been given again. On what side do you stand this time? Are you a solution? Or are you a part of the problem? On what side do we stand? And at the end of the day, when the journey ends, what kind of life did you live? And will it come back that you have made just one difference for you and for me, for all humanity? Where do you stand on the road of peace? There's work to do to make some dreams come true. We all have a part to play. Teach love, teach peace, joy, faith, hope, life, and wisdom. Teach joy and peace, life, hope, love, and forgiveness. The moment has come for us. A choice has been given again. On what side do you stand on the road of peace? God bless you.
Let's put our hands together once again for Miriam Wright McKinney. Ooh, when she throws high notes, I almost cried. My goodness, what a beautiful voice. All right. And for now, closing remarks from our Veteran Affairs Officer, Dr. James Dula.
Wow, what an exciting time for our veterans here in Prince George's County, where we like to say it's a great day to be a veteran in Prince George's County. So, yeah, let's give it an applause. That's a great saying for great people. I want to also recognize our Gold Star wives, who I left out initially. Gold Star wives, Miss Taylor sitting over here on the left. Raise your hand, Gold Star wives. They are a very big part of what we do. So thank you very much for all you do for our community, and we look forward to working with you in the coming days and months ahead. On behalf of County Executive Officer Brooks, I want to thank each of you for coming today, because this day is about you. As you know, our county executive has said we are a community of one, but that community will never leave out our veterans. So I want you to take that back to the communities, tell other people about us, let them know that we're here. And if anyone doesn't know about the Office of Veteran Affairs in Prince George's County, I don't know where they've been. But please help us spread the word, because we need to do that. We have sick and shut-in veterans that need to know that we're here during the holiday season. As you know, that can be quite depressing for some. So we want to let them know they're not all alone. As you go back to the communities, don't be afraid to share our numbers. And anyone can call our office anytime. But on behalf of County Executive Officer Brooks, once again, I want to thank you all for coming. God bless you. God bless America. And please, say hi to someone on the way out, a stranger, someone you've never met before, because we want to continue to show our caring spirit here in Prince George's County. So thank you very much. Travel safely. And once again, God bless each one of you. Thank you.